What? Who's that? What? Who is that? They look cool. You found another Misa. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben, and today I'll be reacting to the Death Note episode 31. Now, the last episode has left me so excited. I can't believe it ended on that point, but I'm so convinced now that all Nier has to do is show his face, and that can be how he gets out of the situation he's in. Because right now you have Light, who's basically revealed his Kira to the SPK at this point. It's done. He's done it. And he sent his cult, essentially, to go and kill them all. Or drag them out of the building so that he can then kill them. But it has become the perfect setup for Nier to kind of just destroy the religion that Light's created. Is it true justice if Nier just shows up and Light kills a child? Like, I think no matter what, this episode will determine how far the religion has gone, to the point if people are actually blinded to the idea that killing a child is justice. Will there be any hesitation there? Will they just go for it? Will they actually just completely ignore this entirely? I think I'm just so excited for this because it's basically would bring Nier to the exact same level and beyond where L was. L had revealed his face, he knew about the Shinigami stuff, he knew about the Death Note. That Light got him up on the whole rule thing that he faked in the book. Nier is beyond that, he knows about the fake rule, he knows where Kira is, and now he knows that Kira is Light. All he needs is like the name, really. But the only thing he doesn't have is revealing his face. And that is what could happen in this episode, which I'm just very excited to just see what does happen. But yeah, as always, if you do enjoy this video, please remember to like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel to grow. If you do enjoy my content and you want to help support the channel, I do have a Patreon, the link will be in the description, of them uploading these videos and the full reaction a week in advance. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to check it out. But with that said, let's just dive on in.
Fellow Kira supporters, I urge you, do not rush the building all at once.
Seeing Mello's perspective, is that so he just wants to sit by and watch and just see what Nier does. It's his competition after all, he doesn't want to get involved.
Pull them from the building and bring them in front of the cameras. There'll be a sacrifice to Kira.
I hate Demigawa. Is it Demigawa? I don't know his name. Is that something like that? I hate him so much. He's got to be like the worst of humanity.
You've got no choice. You better evacuate.
You've got some nerve to say that, being Kira.
What? Are you still going on about that nonsense?
Come on, who's that standing next to Light?
With all the anti-Kira groups around, why is it we're being targeted and right after I start suspecting you?
Exactly, it's so obvious.
Kira is likely amongst you. Even as we speak, he is in that room.
Yeah.
I'm simply asking you to think about this carefully.
Come on, can he actually sow distrust and actually get them to expose Light?
This is all sounding way too familiar. The original L also thought that Light had to be Kira.
Come on, Aizawa, please tell me he does it. But I don't want him to die. We're a couple episodes left, though. I really don't know what could happen. I don't want him to die.
Second wave, stand by. We're the first wave.
What? Like hell, we're going.
They're disorganized. They're just an angry mob. Hopefully they can just take out their frustrations on each other.
Believe in their hearts that by punishing evildoers, Kira will actually make this world a better place. But as for this crowd outside, they're a completely different breed.
Okay, so those aren't even just regular people. They are just the worst of humanity that Demigawa's just able to manipulate.
I know that, but it still leaves us with the immediate problem.
We'll use L's legacy and the anti-Kira protesters we hired.
You hired anti-Kira protesters, nice.
But I can't imagine a better time to do it. Besides, it should be interesting.
Okay, so he's not even concerned in the slightest. He just wants to see how this plays out. Money? Okay, yeah, this is the worst of humanity. Of course, they're just going to go away from Kira and just go to money. Yay! So he really isn't struggling. He's not even going to show his face, is he? And they're completely sidetracked. Wow. Light has no control.
Money! There's so much!
And even him!
Amazing. Man, I wish I were over there right now.
Nier is basically toying with him. He's just showing how powerless Light is. Even with all this mob of people, Light's sort of control over them, gone like that. Completely over.
Even so, he can't escape from Demigawa's cameras.
Can't he? He's basically just filled this...
Violet, go to the floor where all the money's coming from!
Yeah.
The police have arrived.
Police?
They're a welcome sight in the midst of what can only be called a full-scale riot.
This is bad.
Is anyone in the room gonna, like, look at what Light's doing and not be happy? Because he clearly isn't happy that this is happening. Is anyone gonna notice that and realize he wants Nier to show his face and die?
He's planning to come out along with the rest of them, and if I tell Aizawa and the others to keep an eye on the police, it'll only make me look that much more suspicious.
You can do nothing. You've lost all your power here. You basically revealed yourself, and now he's escaping.
Where is he? He's gotta be in there somewhere. But where?
He's the size of a child. You won't see him. Done. Gone. You lost. Yay. He's completely out of his depth.
Damn it.
Read his face. Come on. He is a police officer. Is there like any training there where they can read people's body language and just notice what's happening with Light and his reactions to this? I want Aizawa to get it, but I also want him to be safe.
How much money do you think was there? Bet it was a lot. I bet it was around $10 million or something.
Ooh, what's that in apples?
Yep, or Matsuda and Ryuk are actually kind of a good duo.
We've re-established a secure connection, so I thought I should give you a call to let you know.
What does lining up his toys mean? I feel like they all represent someone.
By now, some of you are starting to suspect that Kira may be one of you. Given the timing of today's attack on our headquarters, I don't think anyone could blame you for having doubts.
It's sad he really has to spell it out for them because they're not going to get it themselves.
The number I gave you the day before has been reconnected. Please feel free to call anytime you like.
I love the smirk he has. He has complete control and he knows it.
I'll be waiting for your call.
And over. Light's out of his depth. He's lost. He has to have lost.
And if any of you want to cooperate with me, please go ahead. I'm not particularly satisfied with the way things are going either.
Making himself look innocent, saying, yes, go on, investigate me, it's fine, it's how I'll be proven innocent. Come on, it's a battle between you two now, and Light does know it, sadly. He overheard the conversation. He knows Aizawa's the one that's most suspicious about him.
When I think about Deputy Director Yagami, I don't want to suspect Light, even a little bit, but...
He does have that looming over him.
Welcome back. I didn't know you were going to be home tonight.
Oh yeah, what are you still doing awake?
I've got a couple of exams coming up.
That's his kid as well, because the time jump. Oh no. Because it all relates to trying to suspect a child, because he could see Light as almost a son in a way, with Yagami dying. He's seen Light grow up. He has that familiar connection. Would he want to suspect? Because it would be so difficult to suspect Light after everything that Light has also been through, and Yagami, and he's seeing his own kid, and he would never want to think that of Light.
If I'm too late to act, something might happen that I won't be able to take back.
Because you just can't. The whole thing with Light is he can't let himself be exposed. That's it.
An emergency order from Light! Yay! File number 3.
What's he told you to do? I think I've made my mind up with Misa. She's just a serial killer. She acts all nice and fun and like, yay, and she's like a levity in this, but she is a serial killer.
I'm with the Japanese task force. My name is Aizawa.
Come on, okay. Ah, what cutting? Okay, so Aizawa's done it, but then what happens after? What happens after? And what emergency thing was sent to Misa?
If I do this, my safety is guaranteed, and I can finally just be a normal wife. This is what Light wants for me.
What?
He wants me to be happy, just as a woman should be.
Serial killer, don't like you. You've gone nuts. Yep, you're just insane. What is she doing? She wants finally time?
Handel was willing to release them because of that?
No, L had Deputy Director Yagami, the chief detective at the time, put on an act.
Yeah, what? But the memory, what can Nier figure out the memory thing? Because that's also the biggest issue here.
Pulled over and pointed a gun at the suspects. He said that he would first kill Kira, then himself.
It was a convincing act. Can it convince Nier?
Out of curiosity, did the suspect volunteer to be detained as part of the investigation?
Yes, they did.
Come to think of it, Light did volunteer to be imprisoned.
It was fully under his control. So even that act, Nier knows was under his control.
So, who was it? Who were those two suspects?
Say the names, please.
I can't tell you that much. I'm willing to cooperate, but I'm still a member of the Japanese task force working under L.
All it has to do, like Yagami, Nier can just publicize it and then you've got it, you've done it.
Especially the part about Shinigami's eyes that enable you to see other people's names. It was very helpful.
Okay, so he's even got more information. But now, Aizawa could die. Whatever Misa's doing, it could just be killing Aizawa all the time. It could just be eliminating the whole task force at this point. Is that it? Is that what it's doing?
The person suspected of being Kira is Deputy Director Yagami's son.
You got it, you've got it.
It's the only possible explanation. Why else would the Deputy Director say he would kill Kira and then himself?
L, you're amazing!
Therefore, that means the second L and the person I think is Kira can only be one man.
Can you name them?
Light Yagami.
You've got it, you've got it, you've done it, you've done it, you've got it. He's actually done it. But then is he confident enough to just basically just publicize it? Tell the world. Because that's exactly what Light doesn't want.
There's something you should know. I phoned Nier and talked to him.
He's going to drop dead. He's going to drop dead. I don't want this to happen. We saw him with his kid. He's going to drop dead and it's going to be so painful.
I was the one who recommended it. So, what did the two of you end up discussing? No, on second thought, I probably shouldn't ask. I guess it's not appropriate for me to ask those kinds of questions.
It's also fake. I hate him so much.
I'm sorry to have to do this this again, but I want to put you under surveillance until we catch Kira. I'm gonna search your place right now. There's a possibility that Amane might have a notebook.
There, yep, it's there. Oh, what's Misa doing? I'm scared.
Look at it this way. At least you can prove to everyone that I'm not sneaking around and contacting Misa in private.
Misa's already doing something. She's done something. What has she done? What's already happened? It was securing her safety. She'd be a wife. What has she done?
I'm coming with you. I want to make sure too.
They're gonna die. They're dead. I feel like they're dead. I don't want them to die, but I feel like they're dead. That only leaves Matsuda and the other one, I don't know.
But if Amane has any evidence on her that connects her with Kira...
She's probably moved. Where have they gone? All evidence will be lost. It's gonna blow. It's gonna look like a giant accident. They're gonna die. Light will be cleared. I'm so paranoid. I don't know what to think anymore. If Misa's here, it can't blow up.
Mochi! Monchichi! Long time no see! Light hasn't been home at all lately, so I've been super bored.
Okay, what now? I'm already thrown. What's happening?
Is he okay? I have to call him.
No, you can't call him right now.
How come?
Don't worry, Light's safe, but he's really busy right now.
I can't think of what the plan is. I have no clue what the plan is. Why is she doing this?
Search as much as you like, Aizawa. You won't find the notebook.
What has she done? What's she done? What has she done? What did she do?
This isn't a social club. I think Aizawa and Mogi should do as they see fit.
Good. Matsu, I want him to get some kind of development. I feel like Matsu's got to be the most useless one among them.
Greetings to all my fellow Kira worshippers. I am Demigawa, the voice of our god Kira.
He's basically taking the position of like the Pope, essentially, for Kira as god. That's what he's done. He's being the voice of Kira. He's choosing to be that sort of figure.
Once it has been completed, let us welcome our god here!
Whoa, talk about bad taste.
Light doesn't like that, so that would be public. Does Demigawa want actually the world to see who Kira is?
So is everything okay?
Oh yeah, seems like it was just a prank. But just in case, one of us is gonna stay and keep watch over you for the next few days.
She's not bothered. She's planned for it, or Light planned for it.
No, you're just not Monchichi without your old haircut. You're not cute anymore.
I can't... She acts so well. I have no idea if this is what she wants or not. Aizawa's gonna die.
We are now accepting donations, starting at the 1,000,000 yen mark towards the completion of Kira's kingdom.
I don't know how much 1,000,000 yen is. I know yen, is a different... Yen is confusing to me. I know, a bigger number is equivalent to, a pound in, I think, England. I don't know. So 1,000,000 yen probably isn't like £1,000,000 to me.
If he keeps doing this, he'll end up pushing people away from Kira. I don't need him anymore, but I can't do much at the moment.
Wait, so you want Demigawa to die?
Hey, welcome back, Aizawa.
Music's building. What's happening? Is Aizawa... Who's gonna die?
Time for me to introduce the new leaders I have chosen for Kira's kingdom.
Yeah, What? Who's that? What?
Delete.
What has he done? What's happened? Someone else with the book.
Delete!
Delete who? And he's doing it dramatically. Like, what is happening? Who is that? They look cool. Demigawa, you next? Do I mind? Probably not. You look cool. You're new. Who are you? Have we met him before? Yeah, you pushed too far. You were foolish.
And delete.
Who is this? And, okay, deleted. He's dead. See, that probably make Kira's followers like him more because they got rid of the annoying guy.
The hell is this?
What happened?
Why would Kira kill his own supporters?
There was no chance for either Misa Amane or Light to use the notebook to kill Demigawa.
He's made it more confusing. I hate him so much. Who is that?
Mikami. I can definitely use him.
Okay, you said a name. I missed it.
He understands Kira's beliefs and ideals perfectly, and he knows what Kira wants and doesn't want.
You found another Misa.
I had Misa relinquish ownership of the Death Note. Before she lost all her memories of the notebook, she sent it to someone else.
Oh, so she's lost her memories. Great.
Won't be able to answer any questions about it. She's just an ordinary woman.
What happened to the bird? What's happening with the bird?
He would understand that he was chosen simply by receiving and accepting the notebook.
Seriously? It was kind of out of the blue, but great. So he's found another Misa. Misa was out of the blue. He found another one. There's going to be more followers like this.
He's more than worthy of becoming the hand of Kira.
Thank you for coming to me. Now I'll be able to punish evildoers with death.
Did he already get the eyes? Did he already do it? He's very devoted if he did. Of course, no one's eyes are naturally red.
God.
You gotta be kidding me. Okay, well, I'm super frustrated. So, I don't even know what to think. Nier at least has him. He's got a name. He knows it's Light. He knows it's Light. But then Light also has a hand now. I gotta look up his name. I don't know his name. I need to go back and check the name because I forgot. Mikami. That's his name. I didn't look up spoilers. Just typed in Hand of Kira and that's what came up. Mikami. So that guy, I gotta say he does look cool. I'm annoyed that he's there though. They had him. Aizawa, at least Aizawa was alive. Light didn't try to kill him. He just tried to prove his own innocence. So that is something. Misa's lost her memories. Not sure what's happening with the bird. She's a serial killer. She's a psychopath. She's insane. That's what I've gotten from Misa. There's no hope left for her. She is just completely off the deep end, devoted to Light. There's no going back for her. She will put up with she'd put up with endless abuse from him, and she'd still love him. She is that person now. She is gone. And now she's given up her memories. And I think the shot where she just sits there, like looking blankly at nothing, kind of says it there. She is nothing. She is just a tool for Light at this point. So I'm not going to look for redemption or a second chance for her. She's just gone. But now they have another one. How? They found another one. I don't even know what to think. Story-wise, it kind of feels out of the blue that they just found this very convenient person. I kind of feel like there should have been a bit more setup. But then again, that kind of happened with Misa. It's happened before. In this sort of religion, you're going to have people that are so devoted to this cause that they're going to pop up and Light will be able to find them. So it does make sense. I'm just so annoyed. What does it do? Because if anything, this just... Oh, no, because then it's out there. So even if Light dies, that's another one. This just complicates things a lot. It's confusing. Misa no longer can... That means she doesn't have the eyes again. Oh dear, is she going to cut her life in half again to get... Is this done? Her safety is secured. She's lost her memory again. Lost the eyes again. But if she ever gets it back, does that mean she's going to get the eyes again? But now that means she is completely useless to Light then. She would just be annoyance. She has no memory. If she dies, what does that mean? I feel like her being there is just to keep up appearances at this point. That's it. But yeah, this episode is just good. Love how Nier deals with the whole thing outside. He got away and he's escaped and he's fine now. He's set up again. That was a very small setback. So yay. He's also found out that it's Light, so he's got that done. And I think I just loved his display of power, even without the Death Note. That's the thing. Light gets his power from the Death Note. Nier gets it from his intellect. Yeah, that's what he uses. Yes, Light is smart and he could be powerful with his own intellect, but he chooses the easier option. Nier was smart enough to plan around all of this with no Death Note and managed to turn all of Kira's supporters against him because he can see what they are. They are the worst parts of humanity. They're just going after Nier because that's what Kira wants. So just shove money in their face and they immediately turn. Yeah, Aizawa, I am very terrified for his safety. I'm glad that he's suspicious. I'm glad that he reached out to Nier, but it feels like he's in the clear. I feel like I can stop worrying about him for now, but clearly it's setting something big up for him. Having the little shot with his family and his daughter, that is reminiscent of Yagami and his son, his parental bonds, is making you care for him more, seeing this other side of him. And that would mean if he dies, it would make it hurt more. I don't want him to die. Because right now I've got 3 of the task force suspicious of Light, whereas Matsuda is just completely useless. I've kind of given up hope for him. He had one bit of development with the whole Yatsuba organization, but other than that, he's kind of just useless. He is just the worst. He's funny, sure, he's the comedy, he's the light side of this, but overall, he really doesn't do a lot for the plot, does he? I mean, would they not all wonder where Ryuk goes now? Because Ryuk has gone to... I've already forgotten his name. I'll look it up again. When it's said more, I'll remember it. But right now, I don't know his name. Ryuk has gone to the Hand of Kira. Would the task force not be suspicious about that? But then again, he's basically a perfect copy of Kira. So even the motives and how he works, they won't see a difference. Task force is useless. My only hope is that Nier can somehow see a difference in this. I'm hoping that maybe the deaths of Demigawa and his, I guess, priests or whatever, will be telling to Nier, and we can get some kind of information from it. It's petty. It's why do this? They weren't criminals, they were annoyances. They were a grievance to Kira. They were getting in the way. They were the thing that were trying to organize his religion, but of course they were doing it for themselves and for money. And now with them dead, what does that mean? Because the Hand of Kira is going to operate independently. He's not going to work on Kira's orders, he's just going to do stuff. My only hope, oh, maybe there's another hope. Maybe this guy can get drowned out with power. He has an idea of Kira. Light has chosen him specifically, though we know that Light isn't the best judge of character. He underestimates people. Could he have underestimated this hand? And maybe this guy's going to do more than Light thinks. Maybe he has ambition that Light doesn't realize. Maybe he wants to become the god that he believes in. Maybe he'll even underestimate Light, and maybe he'll see that Light isn't doing enough and want to take him out to take his place. There's a lot of variables here, and I still feel like Light is making a mistake. Yes, it's a good move. He's gotten Misa cleared. It's a good move, but I still feel like it has to be some kind of mistake. There's things that Nier could use, which has got me hopeful. It isn't as bad as this ending makes it feel. There are options here. To begin with then, I did really enjoy this episode. A lot happens. I love how we get to see Nier sort of combat Light in this way and get to sort of turn his followers against him slightly, or at least make them neutral. It was a great display of power between the two and just how kind of more powerful Nier is, when he's able to use his own intellect without a death note, without the threat of death, and turn people so easily to another way. Yeah, looking at Light in this episode then, I feel like he's on such a tight he's on a tightrope at the minute. I feel like that's where he is. He's caught and he is balancing between success and failure, very slightly. Nier has him on the run. That's what I'm gathering from this. He has a lot of control. Nier is completely safe. He's doing far better than Light is. But Light now has to deal with the task force, thinking that he's Kira again, and that has resulted in him having to give up a death note to clear Misa's name and then hand it over to someone else. It means that Light has now expanded the variables that he has to control. Misa was difficult enough to control, now you're giving it to someone else. It does feel like a desperate attempt where he's trying to navigate all of this stuff. Because I've got to remember, I feel like he's got another death note still, so he's got one left, so he's hidden that one, because he had 3. Ren died, you had Misa's, and then he had his own. So there was 3, 1 went back to Sido, so that one's gone, so there's 2 left, and 1 is now with Mikami. Where'd the other one go if Aizawa couldn't find it? But it does feel like a desperate attempt to try and clear his name again and try and prove his own innocence, because that's what he has to do. It's a constant fight for him. He always has to try and find a way to prove his own innocence and get around all of this, while also being attacked by Nier and trying to expose the truth. So while I think this episode did feel like a victory for him, ultimately I think it is a loss, because it's another variable that he can't really control. Especially this one. He's confident that Mikami will act independently and will do what Light wants. Light is under the assumption that this will be just a clone of himself. I don't think that. We know Light underestimates people. He doesn't see people that well. He'll think over a lot of options very carefully, but when it comes to actually people and what people are like, I think he does not understand them as well as he thinks he does. So then Nier, absolutely amazing in this episode. I'm really loving him. He's definitely the perfect successor to L. Love the smirk that he has. I love how we can see more of what he's doing with the toys, I guess. With L, I think there was definitely a lot of symbolism behind his eating stuff. He would eat weird at times. It was, I guess, options of what he ate. I feel like you could really look into everything that L ate while thinking about what he was thinking and find connections between the two. But it's far more difficult than seeing the toys here. Like setting up the action figures, I feel like that is a display of, he's setting a person to the action figures. Probably himself as one, Light is another one, Aizawa will probably be one at this point for reaching out. He can basically use them to play chess, essentially. He can assign them like that and actually visualize what's happening through the toys. But yeah, his victory in this was just undeniable. He managed to control Kira's cult, just throwing money at them, perfect way to do it. And again, he can clearly understand people better than Light can. He thought this mob would be his victory here. Of course, Nier sees them for what they are. They are a mob that will just be completely distracted by money. They are not the average citizen. They are desperate people who are completely absorbed into the Kira religion, but it means that they are easily distractible. They have no true values. They are going to this thing out of fear. Throw money at them, and it's very likely that they are just going to swarm towards it, and it worked. And then, of course, Nier has Light's name, which I could not be happier about. What's stopping him now from just revealing Light's name to the world? I feel like that's got to be the ultimate goal here. That's how you defeat him. Light operates through anonymity. If you had the whole world knowing who he is, they would go for him. He would not be able to survive it. The entire world against one person, he wouldn't be able to live. Kira functions through being anonymous. If you can get the name out there, it's over. But of course now, if Nier does reveal his name, the Death Note will still be out there and it will still continue. Because you have Mikami out there and doing things. But I think I'm just happy that Nier has this victory here because it's such a big victory. He has so much going now. He's definitely further ahead than L, and he's in a very comfortable position. All he has to do is bide his time, analyze what this new Kira is doing, realize there's two, and sort of get them under control. Then he's won. Aizawa, I am so concerned for. They're doing a lot with him, which scares me so much. We get to see his family again, his daughter, and how much she's grown. We get to see his family life, and that just feels telling. With Yagami's episode, we got to see a lot beforehand. We got to see him, which with the daughter, who I now realize was the one being taken care of, and how being kidnapped emotionally shut her down. And then, of course, he dies. So it really focuses on these characters, what their life is like, and just how much they're losing when they die. They put so much value on their life. That's what I love about the show. When someone important dies in this, it's not over and done with. We get to see how much is surrounding that death. And Aizawa, I feel like, is on the chopping block since we're seeing that again. We're seeing his daughter, we're seeing his life. And it makes me so concerned for him. It's how they set this up. Because now if Aizawa does die, we get to we immediately remember that he has a child. We get to see what she's going through. We know things about her now. She's preparing for exams. She has a life going, which will be interrupted by Aizawa's death. It means if he does die, it will have a big impact, which is what death is. I think I just love that he is suspicious again. He feels like he's the successor to Yagami in a way, where he is trying to figure things out. He's not just passive like Matsuda, who just goes with whatever. He is actively trying to think of things. He's being independent. He's no longer being a sheep. Then on to Misa, and I think for a while I've been conflicted on what to think of her, because her levity makes her feel innocent, which I think is a trick at this point. She acts fun and almost sweet and nice and naive, but it's all just, I don't even know if it's a facade. It's her, but of course, deep down, not even deep down, she is a serial killer. She did a lot just to impress Light and Kira. She killed people to get his attention. Then it moved on to her being completely okay with being manipulated just so she could be with Light. And she's reached that point again. I feel like the point that could drive it home is if she tries to kill someone without the death note anyway. I think she's completely far gone at this point. It's too late to try and do some kind of arc with her to turn against Light. And at this point I feel like it's almost out of character for her to do that. She's lost her memories now. She's completely given up the death note. There's nothing left for her to do. She can't really turn against it without the death note. There's a big part of her that would need to turn against him. And she's still there, she's still with him. Yes, technically she's innocent at this point because she's lost her memory, she's back to when she was away from it all, but she's still gonna be with Light. I wouldn't be surprised if Light just keeps telling her things anyway. Would he keep it a secret from this new Misa that we now have? I doubt it. Then it will implicate her, but in the end, would she choose to leave him anyway? No, she's the same Misa. She would kill for Light with or without the death note. She's a serial killer, there's no hope for her. I'm done trying to think of a more positive thing for her. All her little Light antics and stuff is a trick at this point. It wants you to try and think of this character in a fun way and make you almost connect with her, even though she is probably one of the most evil people here. And Mikami, he throws such a spanner in the works now. Light has managed to find a clone of himself, or at least what he thinks is. I feel like there's a lot of options here though, so I'm happy with that. Gotta say he looks incredibly cool. Overcoat, long hair, red eyes, he looks awesome. But of course he is a second Kira and is now the hand of Kira, so he's going to be carrying out the judgment. He's going to be doing it, but all completely independently. Light gave him instructions, but he's not going to be in contact. So it'll be very difficult to actually pin this guy down, because he could be anywhere in the world, right? He could be absolutely anywhere. I think he has a Japanese name, so he's probably in Japan, so that's something. But then he could just have a Japanese name in any country, so it really doesn't pin him down at all. He could be absolutely anywhere. And now Nier has to try and find him too. So Light has created a great sort of little countermeasure here, where if he does die, he's got someone else to do things. But what I'm super hopeful for now is that Light underestimate this guy and his ambition, maybe, or at least something about him. He is worshipping this god, and Light's only seen him through interviews or whatever, where he was basically supporting Kira. So maybe Nier could use the same thing to find him. But again, you have this guy who we know nothing about, just that he's dedicated to the mission. Not necessarily dedicated to Kira. Maybe if he sees this new god as being, maybe if you even just expose Light and you realize that he's human, that could also send Mikami away, because it could go along the metaphor of like making a god bleed, because then they're no longer a god. Mikami is operating under an image of Kira. He does not know who the real Kira is. So if you expose that, would that take care of Mikami as well? There's options here. Light has basically saved himself, but also made himself a lot more vulnerable in the process. So looking at the story then, I feel like it's kind of getting a little bit rushed. A lot is happening. You had the whole Mello and Nier thing. This is my like one sort of nitpick with this, I guess, half of the show. You had the whole Mello and Nier conflict. That was over pretty quick, or at least Mello getting the death note. That happened very quickly. Yagami is also dead. He's gone. Then Nier was about to be exposed. Now he's not. And now you have another death note user in here. So a lot is happening very quickly now, which makes sense because we're in the run up to the end of the show. So I get it. But it does feel like it does feel slightly rushed. I feel like far more time should have been given to a few of these things, like Yagami and his slight turn to maybe using the death note to eventually just not using it and dying happy. And now we have a new Kira who kind of feels brought out of the blue, but I do get it. It makes sense. And I would have liked to have had a bit more setup on him. Maybe just seeing these interviews and maybe spotting him in the background. Because I'm half expecting for like another huge revelation to happen in the next one, because that seems to be what we're doing now. It could easily be that Mikami gets found in the next episode and stopped. And just feels like the pacing has gotten a little out of hand and a little bit rushed. And it makes me wonder just what could have happened if it was slowed down a little bit, just given a bit more time to things. But yeah, as for what's next, we now have a new Kira. But of course, I honestly think anything could happen. Either this Kira could become jealous of the original Kira, or maybe try and take him down. If we're looking at biblical parallels here, Light's basically Satan, and this would be basically another demon, but all of them are selfish. So maybe this new demon could try and take Lucifer's place. It does, because all of it is evil. So I can easily see another Kira trying to take the place of the original. Because of course, Light is filled with pride. He thinks he is the best. He thinks he's above everyone. And in that way, he underestimates people. You could have someone else. And if this is a true clone of Kira, he would think the exact same thing. He might not just be a hand of Kira that believes in this god. He might want to become this god. So I felt like while this got Light in the clear for a bit, I felt it's going to be a pain in his butt eventually. So that could be something the next episode goes into. But also I want to see what Nier will do. He has Light's name. He could expose him. He could, I don't know, what can he do with a name? Could he just expose him? Then again, how do you really bring this all to an end in a satisfying way? Does just publicly saying Kira's like Yagami actually end this? We're definitely in the stretch to the final now. A lot of big things have to happen, and I'm very excited to see how all of these things can be resolved. Overall though, this episode was great. I loved how it kept me on the edge of my seat for a lot of it. This show has had episodes that have been up and down in just terms of, in just how it sort of kept me enthralled with the story. This one was brilliant, and I think it continues the last episode very well. And again, I love how each ending sort of is a cliffhanger in a way, but then it can sort of redirect it. Last one felt like Nier was done for, only for him to completely turn it around and get away and make Light look like the fool. And then this one ends with Mikami basically hinting at being a clone of Kira, but I'm almost assuming that that's going to be twisted. We're going to see a new perspective on it. We're going to get more on Mikami soon, and it will either show that he's not a perfect clone of Kira, or he may be too much of a clone of Kira. Either way, he's going to be an issue. Yeah, this episode dealt with a lot. Misa is also now got no memory. I'm still not sure what happened with the bird. I felt like the bird was dying. It was squawking around. It was fluttering a lot. I felt like the bird's dead. She is a serial killer, and that could be a way to show it. If the bird dies and somehow she's killed it, that'd be a pretty good way of showing that she is just nuts, killing animals. And then of course, Aizawa, he's getting a lot of story. It scares me, but I do love that he's going against being a sheep and he's becoming more suspicious of Light. He's taking the investigation into his own hands, and he's actually rising above. Amazing. I do not want him to die. But yeah, with that said, that does bring me to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about this episode in the comments. And with that, I will see you in the next one for episode 32. See ya.